Regenerating Sporting Spaces, the Stadium as an Active Urban Amenity by Josh Moxey. Regenerating sporting spaces. What is the problem? In Australia, local and state governments often see stadiums and sporting facilities as a misuse of space in the urban environment, particularly our CBDs where land has always been seen as valuable. As a result, these stadiums are built in the suburbs, often surrounded by parking lots, disconnected from the city and remain empty for the majority of the year. These four graphs highlight the ground usage percentages for the MCG, SCG, ANZ and McDonald Jones stadiums for 2019. Generally speaking, in Australia, stadiums are empty 81% of the time. The site I have chosen to explore is the National Park Sporting Precinct in Newcastle West. Currently this facility boasts 2 cricket grounds, 3 soccer fields, 2 rugby fields, 4 croquet lawns, an athletics facility, 30 netball courts sprawled across 3 sites, and the no longer used tennis club. Throughout this year, I hope to explore the issues of community and how a new stadium can be the nucleus for urban regeneration within the city. Why Newcastle? Newcastle is Australia's 7th largest city, but one of only 2 from the top 25 to have never hosted a Big Bash League, AFL or international cricket match. Since the year 2000, only 18% of our national cricketers are from regional areas, while only 5 Novocastrians have ever represented Australia in cricket. While women engage in exercise as often as men, their participation in organised sport and team sports drops off considerably. Only 2% of all athletes ever make it as a professional athlete, but shockingly, women make up only 15% of this figure. So how can a sporting facility in Newcastle help bridge these gaps? Simple, by having the infrastructure in place to host matches and tournaments targeted to these demographics. Putting pen to paper and shifting from research was hard for me, particularly when there was so much to take in. For a stadium, there are many constraints we must consider, such as the size and orientation of the field, the viewing angles, the sight lines, which are known as C-values, the angle of the stadium or the rake, how many seating bowls you'd like. Taking known data, I was able to place a set of data points into Grasshopper and begin to extrapolate different seating bowl options. I started looking at this data with a rectangular field as this was the easiest to begin with, but quickly found myself experimenting with many different configurations. From there, I was able to export preferred options to begin exploring massing models of what the facade could possibly look like. The design development of the site sees the addition of a new sporting field to replace the vacant tennis courts, the rejuvenation of Cottage Creek, a new stadium, and the reconfiguration of the other sporting grounds. The plan shows at ground level a full seating tier around the playing arena. This actually sits below the ground level. Where many stadiums tear unsustainable holes in cities and isolate themselves from their surroundings, I want to explore how this facility could be the continuation of the street. By elevating the finished spaces like the media centre and corporate suites onto the second tier, it removes the chance of flooding to cause significant damage to the structure. A third tier for viewing completes the structure, which is orientated towards the heritage listed trees, the old scoreboard and Nobby's Headland, offering a view of the city never seen before. It also allows for the original hilled areas to remain. The 2 sections show how the playing field has been dropped below the original ground line and does not overpower the site. Further exploration and development is required. Unfortunately, I was not able to build physical models. However, I explored the building topology through BIM models, which helped me understand just how challenging this project will be. I've yet to impose materials onto the proposed design, but believe that aligning the material palette to the recent contemporary Newcastle buildings like New Space and the courthouse is how I will most likely approach this project. Lastly, I hope to develop this design further to highlight that stadiums and sporting facilities can become of the city rather than simply being in the city and become active urban spaces throughout the entirety of the year. Thank you.